Did you know that there are several big changes that could be coming to Social Security? And currently, Congress is reviewing several bills that you should know about. But today, I'm going to be breaking down the top four that could have the greatest impact on retirees, pre retirees, and even younger workers. So, we're going to be covering what each of these bills would do and why it's being considered and the real positives and negatives that you should be aware of in our financial freedom video. So definitely stay locked in. Hi, my name is Carson Graves, certified financial planner and president and CEO of the Retirement Education Center.
And my name is Andrea Graves, Director of Operations at the Retirement Education Center. For additional concepts on how to maximize your retirement, please subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the notification bell to be notified when we upload new videos.
Now, before we jump into our lesson today, there are always two rules to retirement income that we like to give you. And Andrea, what are those two rules?
Well, rule number 1 is to never run out of money, and rule number 2 is to never forget rule number 1. And by the way, if you want to go deeper into these kinds of retirement topics, Carson covers them step by step in his first published book, How to Retire with Confidence: 5 of the most common pitfalls that could derail your retirement. You can get it today on Amazon by clicking in the link in the description below. So now let's dive into our topic today.
All right, let's talk about this first bill, the Protecting and Preserving Social Security Act. Now, this first bill is probably the most impactful because it deals with two big issues, and that's how your cost of living adjustment is going to be increased and are calculated, and how Social Security is going to be funded long term. So here's what this bill is trying to do. First, it wants to change how the cost of living adjustment for your Social Security benefits are going to be calculated. Right now, the Social Security Administration uses what is called the CPIW, which basically tracks the spending of workers, but seniors don't spend like workers. And so you and I know your biggest costs in retirement are going to be healthcare, housing, maybe prescription drugs, and those go up faster. So this bill will actually switch to the CPIE, which is the Consumer Price Index for the elderly, which is designed around senior spending. And as I mentioned, this is being considered because seniors spend more on healthcare and housing. For example, in 2024, the cost of living adjustment was 2.5% under the CPIW. If it had been under the CPIE, the cost of living adjustment would have been 3%. So for someone receiving $2,000 per month, it would have came out to be approximately $10 more per month. Now, of course, that doesn't sound like anything big and nothing to run to the bank for, but that compounds year after year. And so over a 20-year retirement, you could be talking about thousands of dollars in additional income. Now, part two of this bill deals with how Social Security is funded, and is looking at phasing out the Social Security taxable wage cap over 7 years, which is expected to extend Social Security solvency for about another 11 years. This is extremely important because the trust fund is projected to fall short of being able to pay those full benefits by 2034 without any changes. Now, currently in 2025, the Social Security tax only applies to the first $176,100 of income. So for someone who makes $250,000, there's about $74,000 that would not be taxed for Social Security at all. This bill would phase that out over 7 years. Now, the good news about this is that it would not happen all at once. So higher income earners would gradually pay Social Security taxes on more of their income. So just to give you a picture of how this may play out, in year one of this bill passing, 20% of that extra income may be taxed. Year two, we may be talking about 40%. And so once this has actually been fully phased in over the years, we're talking about higher income earners paying about an extra $4,500 more per year into Social Security. Now, most retirees won't even feel that part directly, but it would help extend the life of the Social Security Trust Fund from 2034 to about 2045. Now, the positive impact of this bill is that seniors could see a larger cost of living increase that would, of course, match real inflation. And this will give Social Security more breathing room, so it's there for future generations. But the downside is that higher income workers will pay more because the CPIE raises benefits faster. So this program will definitely need to ensure the money coming in actually keeps up. Now, bill number 2 is Ending Improper Payments to Deceased People Act. Now, this second bill may not sound exciting on the surface, but it definitely deals with something that most people hate, and that is government waste. With that being said, what this bill would do is that it's going to require the Social Security Administration to use the federal do not pay system. What this system is basically a federal database that checks if someone has passed away before money can actually go out. Believe it or not, every single year, millions of dollars are mistakenly paid to people who are no longer living. Sometimes checks continue for months or even years because the death record wasn't properly updated. As a matter of fact, one audit found that 327 million in improper payments to about 16,000 deceased beneficiaries was going out. And if nothing had changed, another 108 million would have gone out the following year. Now, I do think that we all can agree that's money that should not be leaving the system. Now, the positive side of this bill is that it will protect taxpayers and preserve funds that should go to the living, not the deceased. The downside or the negative part of this bill is that we all know that systems can make a mistake and perhaps label a living person as deceased, and therefore their benefits could be frozen until that gets resolved. And that can be a nightmare for someone who's depending on a check each month. So if or when this bill gets passed, there definitely needs to be some measures in place or guardrails to make sure that the living continues to get the benefits that they deserve and should be receiving each month. So now let's move on to bill number 3, Claiming Age Clarity Act. Now, this bill would update the language that Social Security uses to describe the different claiming ages. So right now, too many people actually think that age 62 is the normal or regular age to claim Social Security benefits. And once you do claim at that age, your benefits are permanently decreased and locked in for life. So what this bill would do is relabel the ages to state that age 62 is the minimum benefit age. Age 67 would be what is known as the standard benefit age, and age 70 would be known as the maximum benefit age. This is meant to help people understand the trade-off. Claiming early equals less, waiting equals more, and sometimes people don't realize they're locking in a permanent 25 to 30% reduction by filing early. Now, the positives here is that clear language can lead to smarter claiming decisions. And so that's a good thing. It could also help reduce people locking in a permanent reduction of 25 to 30% on their Social Security benefits. The negatives of this particular bill is that it may overshadow the fact that language alone will not fix financial stress, and therefore it still may require broader education to actually change the habits of people. Now, the last bill that I want to talk about is the Social Security Child Protection Act. Now, what this bill would do is allow the Social Security Administration to issue a new Social Security number for a child under the age of 14 if their Social Security card is stolen in the mail. Now, why is this actually important? Because we know that child identity theft is on the rise. And kids can have their identity stolen long before they even apply for their first job or even credit. And by the time they turn 18, they may discover they have debts or tax filings or other issues that was never theirs in the first place. So the positives of this particular bill is that it will give parents a tool to protect their kids early before any damage is done. Early intervention, of course, will prevent years of having to clean up a big mess later. Now, when it comes to the only negative or drawback of this particular bill is that it may increase the workload of the Social Security Administration, which is already stretched pretty thin. And of course, some people believe that the rules should also cover online breaches, not just information that's stolen in the mail as well. So, of course, there could be some subtle changes to expand the definition of what is considered identity theft under this particular bill. So here's a quick recap of the bills. Bill number 1 affects the cost of living adjustment and the long-term financial stability of Social Security. Bill number 2 is about stopping waste and protecting the trust fund. Bill number 3 aims to help Americans make smarter claiming decisions. And bill number 4 is aimed to protect children from early identity theft. So the moral of this video is that these bills remind us that protecting benefits, reducing waste, and educating Americans on smart claiming decisions are all part of securing a retirement with dignity. Staying informed today helps you make better decisions tomorrow. And as always, we would like to hear from you. Which of these 4 bills do you feel would make the biggest positive difference? And is there one you're concerned about? Please share your thoughts in the comments below because your feedback helps shape future videos, and you may even help someone else think about retirement planning differently. And as always, make sure you speak with a certified financial planner in your area who can help you with these decisions. And if you found this information beneficial, please go ahead and like this video, subscribe to our channel, and share with others who may need to stay informed about Social Security changes.
After this video, please check out our other videos that will give you tips on how to maximize your retirement. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and share it with a friend. Thanks for watching, and remember, if you have questions,
we have answers. Please note that these videos are created for educational purposes only, and that you should always seek out your own financial advisor, your own tax advisor, and your own attorney regarding your personal situation. Also, if you are looking for an independent fiduciary advisor to help you with these types of complex financial matters, we highly recommend that you utilize the links in our description below and go ahead and schedule a 1-hour free consultation with us today.